Tan weapon camo. Hallelujah. Well, that's doing whatever. I'm gonna watch the update.
No one you can trust.
Hello! What you reading? Some nerd thing?
It's nothing.
It's nothing. What? Are you actually not gonna show me?
Let's go somewhere private.
Some people like to think that the deep web is a joke. It's not. In no way is it a place some half-assed show-off should even think about stumbling into. In fact, I would tell even the most seasoned of hackers with any fiber of a moral compass to stay the fuck away from that place. Because it's a place that will scar you and leave you terrified to follow the cyber footprints left by someone else's shadow ever again. I know this because I'm a hacker, or at least I used to be one. I had been using computers since I was 12 years old. I had always been fascinated with the idea of being a cyber crusader, determined to find the new uncharted territories of the internet. I'd gotten pretty good at utilizing bits of software here and there, and it even got to the point where the slow crawl of dial-up internet didn't even affect me anymore. Especially when you knew what processes you wanted active and which ones you could afford to kill to increase the crawl rate of your PC. In other words, I had a pretty good idea of what I was doing. By the time I was 20 years old, I could both safely and confidently call myself an ace when it came to hacking. I could keep up with the best and had made a name for myself among many other netizens on the web. In fact, I was among the few thousands who had managed to come up with the formula to hack the Google search bar in order to delve deeper into the directories to get what we wanted. Call it our own personal attack for having bought the rights for YouTube and slapping content creators with copyright infringements left and right. The early years of YouTube back then were not pretty. I had my channel taken down several times because of Google's little purchase. But that's neither here nor there. This plays no bearing on the story. I'm simply giving you a little history lesson, especially for all the younger netizens out there. Anyone who was a hacker knew about the deep web. It pretty much had the same purpose as most would speculate it does today. Drugs, guns, illegal imports, you name it, and that place pretty much had it. The deep web was, and is, the gateway into what is known as the global black market. I had purchased a few imported goods during that time and had a decent amount of drugs. It was about how guns, illegal imports, you name it, and that place pretty much had it. The deep web was, and is, the gateway into what is known as the global black market. I had purchased a few imported goods during that time and had a decent amount of drugs. It was about halfway through the first semester at my school. Sophomore year of college was my time to be stoned almost constantly, so I was a regular customer on the digital black market. Most of my friends came to me for the hookup, and I could always cut them a pretty good deal based on my frequent interactions with sellers on the net. To access the deep web,
I like these. These are pretty fun.
Seriously, how long do you think they'll wait before they put a replica of the castle from the Magic Kingdom right between the 2 and the 0? Jesus Christ, if you're gonna subvert something, movie, try working on these 36 seconds of f***ing logos. Hang on, this is ultimately a pretty shitty apartment, right? But there's a 6-burner stove? That's like chef quality. Also, if he's trying to get a bunch of gas in here, why didn't DP turn on the last burner on the end? And now the f***ing stove controls are turned every which way, rather than being on the maximum effort setting we just saw Deadpool put them on. My point is, why can't this movie f***ing stove correctly? Just because you're a Deadpool movie doesn't get you out of a showing a love story through a photo collage montage cliche sip.
Wolverine.
Sitting Deadpool for narration is like sitting chocolate chip cookies because they contain chocolate chips. But I actually prefer chocolate chipless chocolate chip cookies. And we've got a job to do here, so narration.
Guess what, Wolvie? I'm dying in this one, too.
Yeah, but not really. Like, you're asking for an emotional payoff for multiple fake-out deaths in this movie. At least Logan had the decency to stay deceased.
I don't speak Cantonese, Mr. Well, I'm not even going to attempt that.
Funny joke, but did Deadpool seriously come all the f***ing way to Hong Kong without knowing this motherfucker's name? What kind of plan was this? And how long was he waiting in there? Is this really more effective than, say, jumping out from behind a tree? Or was Ryan just longing to relive his time on the Buried set?
Let's see Captain America do that.
Dude, there are some great f***ing shout-outs to other superheroes in multiple universes. But doesn't this one feel forced? Like, other than spraying the funeral with bullets, couldn't Cap do all the shit Deadpool's doing here? Sure, we are far enough away to not see that it's Wade doing some dead pole dancing. Why are these guys right up front still cheering like they think it's Demi Moore from 20 years ago? Aside from the fact that these Jacuzzi Yakuza have got a bad case of one-at-a-time-itis, why doesn't a single one of them have a gun on them? No one thought to bring a Jacuzzi Uzi? Also, despite that, I've got to give it up for the f***ing fight choreography in this movie. Jesus, who even thinks up fights like this? Dozens of severed arms, legs, and heads, but yes, please blur this man's giggle stick, because who will think of the children?
That babysitter of yours is high as right now.
Damn, I didn't realize how much my Nana liked to party. I know we want to see all the bad action behind him, but how is this asshole supposedly running at top speed when the stuff behind him is happening in real time?
Little, cokey, can't maintain an erection.
And thus begins the annoying trend of the exact same beat from the first movie happening in the sequel.
Remember when I kidnapped Bandhu and threatened him with great violence?
Deadpool 2 expects us to remember the Dopinder F story from the last movie. Look, I've seen the first Deadpool dozens of times, and even I forgot that happened.
You gotta grab those dreams by the tip and make it rain.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means as a cheap and easy beat in a comedy movie cliche.
Diarrhea? We can't be sure till I get the suit off, but, all signs point to yes.
Man, Deadpool movies have as many poop jokes as a goddamn Shrek movie, and I'm sinning that crap. Number one, it totally taints this franchise and is a stain on the logorrheic nature of the dialogue. And number two, it wipes clean any of the goodwill from the more intelligent humor you might want to dump on us later.
Baby Factory's open for business.
Oh my god!
Aw, that's sweet. But like most superheroes that choose to...
I like pulled pork. Alright. Alright.
Xfinity presents the Filter Tunes.
Xfinity is so